do this. Let's do this. It says it's waiting for me. Alright, let's see if we can stream on the business channel here. I'm live on YouTube. Done. Record. Or stream. Or whatever. Alright. Alright, let's make sure that I can at least see what I'm doing today. Oh my god, something's happening. Rotate that. Hey, I'm here. Cool. Actually looks really good. Was I surprised? I was surprised. I was very surprised. Cool. Let's do this. What's up, guys? YouTubers, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to let a few of you guys jump in. Hey, Logan. I just started. I didn't even think anybody was going to be here yet. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. If you're on Facebook here, head over to YouTube. And we're going to be talking about some things there. At about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, YouTubers. We're going to be talking about what we're going to talk about today. Which is, what do you do if you hate your wedding photos? So this is going to be on the side of the client hating the wedding photos. But if it does happen, what do they do? What's the thing? Joseph, I feel better. Thank you. Oh, I was sick. Also, I was sick, but I feel better about the whole winning thing. But yeah, I feel better from being sick. I'm not, I don't feel sick anymore. Oh, I knew I forgot something. Sorry, guys. But I do feel better. I don't know what happened, but I'm sure I have to get some tests for it because that's what people do when stuff happens to them. Swipe left. Swipe left. Viewers. Ooh, I got 4 viewers. All right, it's showing me viewers here. So, guys, I'm streaming on Facebook as well. I'm trying it actually on my business page rather than just my personal page. So, guys, if you're on Facebook Live for the first time viewing me, I live stream on YouTube. I'm trying to do every day, although I've missed the past few days because I've been sick. So if you are on Facebook, head over to YouTube, give me a little subscribe, and actually join in the chat there today. This is going to be targeted mostly to clients or potential clients, really anybody that books a photographer for anything. And we can kind of chat about what to do if you hate your photos, and what your options are, and what I think photographers should do. And as we do this, you guys will actually see me doing some editing and some work on actual current projects that I'm working on. And we're actually just going to be culling today. I have a lot of culling to do because I just got done with a wedding a couple days ago. So yeah, 10-minute mark. We're going to talk about it. Again, if you're on Facebook, go to YouTube. You'll keep hearing me say that. I'll look at you guys every once in a while. Those of you that are on YouTube, please read the description. We have some cool stuff going down. How to get a hold of me. How to do. How to send me stuff that we're going to critique live. We did our first critiquing last week, and it turned out awesome. And anything you want to send me, you can send me via email. And it has all of my links on how to follow me within all social media that I'm on. I'm on everything, FYI. But that way you guys can follow me and go from there. And then, of course, the only thing I really want to plug, that I love plugging, is going to be Hatch Lab. And Hatch Lab is my nonprofit, and we educate, mentor, train, and build the community right now in photography, videography within Reno. And from there, we are going to be building other types of art within our area. So we're super excited about that. And we're new, and we're looking for donations. So any help would be great help. If you know anybody that I should contact, let me know, and I'm happy to contact them. I feel like it's there. It's there. All right. So we're just hanging out here for 5 minutes to see if anybody gets on. I can't see any comments on this on Facebook here, so I don't know if anybody's watching. But I have 5 people watching on here. So if you guys are not responding onto this, I'm going to switch over to regular Facebook. But we'll leave this here. Those of you that are a part of my contest on Facebook right now, thank you guys so much for sharing and pushing. The goal is to get to 10,000 likes or 10,000 fans on Facebook. So please keep sharing. Please keep telling people to like it. And every 100 shares that we get on there, I'm going to add another package, another portrait session. So right now we're at like 450 shares. So I have at least 4 giveaways that I'm going to do, and then if we can get it up to like 1 million, then that's a lot, and I'm not going to work ever again for the rest of my life, which is awesome. All right, let's see where we're at. I wanted to update the cards here real quick. And edit card. Boom. First video, save. Boom. Second video, save. Boom. Third video, save. And boom. Cool. Love it. YouTube stream is awesome. Super happy. Who's in the chat right now, guys? Say what's up while you're there. Let's give a little talk to. And we're going to talk heavily about this, and I have some really cool stuff that I want to kind of talk about on the perspective of the client. Guys, if you're on Facebook, head over to YouTube to actually see what we're doing here. The Facebook is just a ploy to get you guys over to YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, give me a little subscribe there. Give me a thumbs up because I'm a cool person. And let's chat a little bit. I've been sick. I feel better. I was sick for a day last Thursday, but it kind of carried over. Super sluggish on Saturday for the wedding, although we did pull it out. I don't think anybody knew, and that's kind of the goal of it. But in 3 minutes, we're going to be talking about what we're talking about today, our subject of the day. And then if you guys, again, are on Facebook, go to YouTube, actually see what we're doing and what we're talking about. Looks like I see people coming on here, which is awesome. Video mode only. Swipe to review. Swipe to review comments and reactions. Reactions? Give me reactions. Here we go. People are starting to come here. I'm waiting. I'm patient and I'm waiting, and I can't edit with the ring on. It just feels weird. Oh my god, I feel like I want to sneeze all the time. I don't know what's on this card. So it's Monday. It feels like Monday. I had a shoot, a couple shoots this morning. I did some headshots for St. Mary's, and that's really easy. Have them come to the studio, quick 10-minute in and out. And then I got to shoot an old friend of mine. Just some updated headshots for her, for whatever she decides to use them for. But we went a little route of non-traditional, which I'm seeing a lot more of. People don't want the stuffy front of a backdrop headshots anymore. So we got some really cool headshots for her, and she looked amazing today. So she killed it. It was an easy shoot, super easy. 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. We're talking about what we're talking about. Those of you that are on Facebook, head over to YouTube, join in the conversation, give me a subscribe, click the bell. Let you know every time I come on, and we're going to chat here for about an hour, so about 50 minutes from now, to kind of keep it going. It's Monday. I don't expect too many people on today because it is Monday. I actually was not going to live stream today. I had to do a virtual meeting. I had to go to the post office. I had a bunch of stuff I had to do as a business owner. You want to own a business? Post office. $100 in postage for just random boxes being sent out. That's the thing you don't think about when you're like, hey, I want to own my own business and pay for stuff. Right? Right. So the session that I'm editing now, or culling through at least, is a family session of some clients that I shot, and this is their whole family. All the kids were kind of in town for the first time in a while, And so they took advantage of it and booked a portrait session of their whole family. This is actually just like I think it's a dog park right next to their house up in kind of like northwest Reno. Holy crap, it was cool. It's just like this open yard that they have that everybody shares. And then next to it was some really, really cool stuff. So, all right, guys, we're at our 10-minute mark here on YouTube. Again, Facebook people, if you're on Facebook, please go ahead and jump on to YouTube. Oh, my back. Please jump onto YouTube and join the conversation there. Actually see what I'm editing and playing off. And while you're there, give me a little subscribe. YouTubers, this is all for you. And my mustache is growing here. Look how thick this baby is. Look how thick that is. So, without revealing too much information, I have this conversation a lot with somebody. And I actually had this conversation very, very recently with a Facebook friend of mine. And basically, I kind of put myself out there, you know, as an educator, as a mentor for photographers. But a lot of non-photographers contact me because they have questions and they don't know the route to go, or what's right or what's wrong or what to expect, because photography is an art, right? So let's put this into perspective. Let's talk about this. If you are you hired a photographer for your wedding. What are you doing to make sure that that photographer is going to be amazing? Now, as you do that, what happens if the photographer ends up being horrible? Maybe not a horrible person, but what if they get there and they're not shooting what they're supposed to be shooting, or they're sitting down and you look at the photos at the end and all of a sudden you just hate them. They're not what you expected. You don't like the photos. Your day's over. What do you do in that situation when your photos are sucky, you're not happy with them? What can you do? Let's not say legally, but what is it that you can do to work with this photographer to make sure that you're happy with your photos? It's a tough question, right? So think about it. You've invested all this money, this time into this photographer. They shoot your event, your wedding, and it's bad. It's bad. I get this a lot. And usually when I get this, I get some stories. So I get some like, hey, this photographer showed up late, or this photographer ate during the whole dinner, didn't get pictures of my dad and I doing this cute little dance, this cute little toast. I don't necessarily want to talk about it on the photographer side unless we get into that conversation on YouTube over here. But I'm happy to do that. But this conversation is more for the client, because I do feel bad for the client. And as much as I mentor and train and talk to photographers about the business side of life, by the time that a photographer has shot your wedding and screwed up, it's too late, right? I mean, it's over. There's nothing you really need or want at that point to actually make it right. So, usually this happens to me when a sneak peek comes out. So the photographer takes some pictures at a wedding and they get a little excited. They get home, they upload photos, and they do a little sneak peek. That sneak peek should be a rendition or a prequel to your actual photos. Guys, if you're on Facebook, we're talking about everything on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in JeramieLu. You guys will find me. You guys actually see what we're editing and talking about. And then you can join in on conversation on YouTube chat live as well. I just have the Facebook on for a ploy. So usually what happens is the client will ask me, hey, what can I do? What is there that I can do? Short of saying like, hey, the wedding's over, you can't really do anything. I honestly always think they want to start to find a way to get something back, whether it's money, whether it's another shoot, which will always be awkward to do another shoot. But what is it that you guys think? I mean, are you a client? If you're watching this, are you a client? And if you are a client, which you are, of a photographer, have you ever had photos that are bad? And if you've had photos that are bad, what did the photographer do to help you out, or what resolution did you come to? Did you just suck it up and just never use them again, which could be like a regular portrait session? Or did you decide that, hey, they need to take care of this. They need to make sure that I'm compensated in some way. So I personally have never which is awesome, which is great. I've never had this experience. I've never had somebody be completely horrified with their wedding photos that they hated me forever. Maybe the first few weddings, at least they never told me. I've had, you know, a couple weddings where we've kind of discussed locations on stuff. What's up, Pat? Where we've kind of discussed locations on, you know, and then the location ended up being bad because I wasn't able to talk my way, you know, or explain why I needed to shoot in a certain location or whatever, or maybe we didn't communicate enough and I didn't get a certain shot, one important shot that was supposed to be gotten until I found out after the fact. I'm never saying it's not my fault, but I try to communicate as much as I can. So, I don't know, man. It's a tough situation, right? Because the biggest issue is once a photographer messes up a wedding photos and it's done. My advice has recently been finding a way to make sure that not only do you get the photos, but that's hard to say because I don't think any photographer is vindictive like that. Making sure that you get the photos and also making sure that the photos aren't, that the photographer's still going to do their best when they're editing the photos for you and they're not feeling down or messed up because it's a creative outlet, right? So if somebody calls me and they say, oh, your sneak peek is horrible, I hate your photos, I know we get our photos in like 3 months from now, but like I hate what I've seen so far. That's not really going to make me as a photographer go, yes, you know, because basically I've shot it all in a style and nothing I can do short of editing and changing a few things, but it's kind of tough. So speaking of weddings, I'm going to shoot my first and probably my only, you never know, Pat, you might shoot more, wedding in the near future. Awesome, dude. Tell me about it. Tell me about that wedding that you're shooting. Guys, if you're on Facebook here, it kind of tells me everybody that's joining. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please go to YouTube. Go to youtube.com, type in JeramieLu, find me, join in the live chat we're having going on. You can actually see what I'm editing right now, a little family shoot. And we're just kind of culling through it the first time here. We're going to end up culling this and culling a model shoot that I did. And then we're going to be culling a wedding I did. Girl's cute. On Saturday. So people joining the conversation, let me know. Have you had a bad experience with a photographer? Have you invested hundreds or thousands of dollars into a photographer and then all of a sudden the photos are crap? What happened then? What can you do? So that leads us to the next thing. I'm going to assume, okay? I'm going to assume that you have done your homework. All right, this is for all the clients there. That you've done your homework, you understand the photographer's portfolio, so that means you've gone through their portfolio, you've asked them for extra pictures, extra wedding galleries to look at, you fall in love with everything that you see, you hire them, you sign a contract, you communicate with them on what you're looking for as before the photos, you know, the style, you want to make sure everything's awesome. In my contract, I do have an artistic clause. All that means is I don't guarantee that my edits from a wedding 3 years ago is going to be the same as the edit for your wedding. I may change things, I may change, you know, but I will communicate and discuss that with my client before. So we're going to assume that you've done all your homework, everything's awesome, your photographer's great, they have great referrals, there's nothing bad, because this is not about hiring a, you know, you're not spending $100 on a photographer and all of a sudden expecting them to have $3,000 worth of results. That is obviously your bad because you didn't invest in the correct thing, and there's no way that you not investing in that will actually help your case in any way, if that makes sense. So we're on to Riley here. So we're editing her stuff. Riley, if you're on here anywhere, hang out. Guys, thank you. Facebook, go to YouTube. So if you're the bride or the client of any photo shoot you've done and there's a sneak peek that's out and you're not happy with it, or you're just not happy with the shoot, my biggest thing to you is please, please wait for the final product. Wait for something to look at, something to mull over, and then look at it. The next thing I want you guys to do is just rest and relax and have other people look at it too. A trusted friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, somebody. Because sometimes it's really hard to critique ourselves. So if you're looking at, like, say, photos of you for a headshot or your wedding or whatever, and you're like, I just don't feel like I look good, you may look amazing, but to you, you look bad. That's not a reflection on the photographer, right? The photographer's job is to make sure that you look the best that you can for that day. When I shoot a wedding, I rely on hair, makeup, lighting. I remember all that day. I'm not going to Photoshop somebody bigger, smaller, yellower, darker, whatever. Yellower. Can I get more yellow, please? I want to be more yellow. I want to make sure that they look how they look because they've invested all the money into there. So that's the first two steps, making sure that first off, you see everything, and then secondly, you have a chance to actually look through the photos in an educated way. The last thing you want to do is look at the photos and then go, oh my god, I look like crap, and then send an email, I don't like the way I look, blah, blah, I look fat, I look skinny, I look whatever. All of a sudden, the photographer's going to go, I have no idea. You know, what do you want me to do? Like, they're going to freak out. Honestly, it could be just your eyes looking at yourself, and then you start to just go, I don't like the way I look. Now, if that's the issue, and everybody's looking at your photos, and they're going, dude, you look amazing. Like, you killed it. We love this work. These will last forever. Then you kind of know that, hey, maybe I did overreact and maybe it's just me. So if that's the case, I'm sure photographers are happy to do a little editing for you, a little playing for you, a little something on a few photos. Not all of them because that's crazy, but maybe a few photos where they just go in and edit and play and tweak. And just kind of keep you happy. Maybe some photos I've done that, and I've done that in the past. Although the client never outright said that, but I had a groom one time, a little bit time later, and said, "Hey, my wife has lost significant amount of weight in the last year since you shot our wedding. It's hard for her to actually look back at these because she does look different. Is there any way that you can kind of just edit it and play with it so what she looks like now, so that it was kind of so closer to her wedding?" And I was happy to do that on a few images, and I do have an invoice for that, so. It worked out, but in no way were they upset or anything. I mean, it's their wedding day. I mean, there's nothing that I can do as far as bodies and all that. Hold on real quick. Well, my best friend got engaged, and he and his fiance are figuring out who they want to be their photographer, and they thought of me, being that this is my best friend. I couldn't say no. I wouldn't mind trying it out, but it's a completely different experience for me. Pat, it's cool. Are you going to be in the wedding since they're your best friend, or are you just shooting it? It's really hard to be in the wedding and shoot it, right? So we have our step 1 and step 2 for the brides. Now, if it turns out that they are bad photos, that there's no good photos in the final product, that you don't love any of them, I've seen what happens in court. So basically, if you were to go to court, if you were to try to sue the photographer, but you've communicated with them. And if it was me as a photographer and it was really bad, I would offer some sort of monetary refund of some sort, whether it's it's hard to pick a number, but whether I offer, hey, let's reshoot it, let's do if it's a nice client and they're not mad at me, then because it's really awkward to reshoot somebody that doesn't like you. I'd rather just pay them and be like, hey, sorry. High five, have a good day. But if you go through that, what I want people to know about going to court, first off, it's really expensive. Secondly, the job of the judge is always, especially in small claims, is always to make you whole. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I think you guys should know that. It's just from what I've researched and learned. So if you guys are in that situation, contact a lawyer. Don't contact me about it. But from what I know, the job of a judge is to make you whole. What does that mean with wedding photography and actually paying for photography? That means that the judge, if they do find in your favor, will give you two options. We'll say, hey, you can either keep your photos now and maybe we'll give you like a little bit of money back, or you forfeit all the photos and you get all your money back. Well, they're still your wedding photos. So, I mean, whether you want to, get your money back or not, you have the option to keep some of them. It's tough, man. I mean, it's tough. I make sure that everything that I do... ooh, I got some people. Sorry, I get excited. New people coming in. Guys, if you're on Facebook, we're all on YouTube here. We're all chatting. There's dialogue. There's editing. There's stuff going on. You can see stuff. Instead of just my pretty face, you're going to see everything in a different way. please go there. Guys, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe while you're hanging out with me. Click on that bell, let you know when I'm coming back. Read the description on a bunch of stuff that we have. Awesome. All right, let's switch gears. My sister had a photographer who did not capture any family photos. Knowledge of lighting was horrible, and the angle they took was horrible. It was like they didn't want to be there. They were photographers in another wedding I was in, and they did a decent job. It was very disappointing. Oh, yeah. All right. That was actually my question. Like, how did you find these photographers? So they were at a different wedding. They did a decent job. Thanks, Pat. I won't die. But let me ask you, my sister had a photographer not capture family photos. Why didn't they? Was there a timeline provided for this wedding, or was it just they showed up, shoot whatever was given? Why was there not a time to do family photos, and there was not a list? And I ask that because every wedding that I shoot, and I know a lot of photographers do now within the Reno community, is we all actually share little tips and tricks with each other. And one of the things that we do is we actually create and provide a wedding day timeline for our clients, which is huge because I don't get the option of always working with a coordinator. When I do, it's way easier in life. But people usually don't spend the money on that, or not too many, or at least with me. So I actually create the wedding day timeline, and when I do this, I make sure that we know where everybody's supposed to be at any given time, and so that we aren't wasting our time. And dude, she's killing it right here, guys. I'm gonna zoom in on these so you can see what's going down. No, Tina, how much were these photographers? You don't have to tell me who they are, but like, what was their price range and what location were they in? If you're still in the chat. I'd like to know because, you know, they didn't have any knowledge of lighting, which was horrible. So they had to have known so obviously they needed lighting of some sort, and the angle, which is just bad photography, right? So remember, photography is an art, guys. So if you're taking a camera and you're standing straight on and you're just taking a picture like this everywhere you go, it's always going to just look mediocre and crappy. We shoot through things. We get at different angles. We go high, we go low, we go around, we test ourselves, we play around. And that's what all photographers should be doing. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, a camera is just a tool. Everything else that happens is in our mind. Pat, there's nothing wrong with shooting this wet. So, Pat, listen. All right, they want you to shoot their wedding. I get it. I believe if they sound probably young. So you can definitely either refer them a photographer, which we have a ton of, right? Or, I mean, if you shoot it, have a couple sits with them, man. Have a couple chats and say, guys, listen, here's honestly what you need to expect from me. I'll do my best, but X, Y, Z, you know, as much as you can get planned. Make a timeline for them. Make sure everything's set up so that you're, you know, they'll look through the photos and they'll be like, okay, Pat did his best. This is exactly what we wanted. Rather than the last thing you want to do is, yeah, he's our friend. He didn't do too well, but, all right, I don't want to scare you, but I want to scare you. They're younger than you. All right, Jesus. So, yeah, dude, I mean, if you're going to do it and kill it. Do a freaking amazing-ass job. But, you know, take it seriously, too. You know, make sure that you are, dude, Riley is killing it, dude. Look at these. Just make sure that you inform them. I want a lot of conversation. I want them to be 100% sure. I want them to want you. Tina, I don't know the price, but in a church, the one they did good was out in Genoa. So Natural Light, it sounds like. Genoa's an awesome area. So, I mean, it's, you know, oldest city in Reno or in Nevada. But in a church. Churches are hard to shoot, Tina, although I do it all the time and we're able to do it. But a lot of churches don't allow flash, don't allow extra light, so photographers have to rely on purchasing specialty lenses and gear and cameras to make sure that we can compensate for low light. If you're a photographer in here, if you're shooting in a church, wide aperture, high ISO capability camera. The only reason really to upgrade your camera at this point is for the high ISO capability. I have a 5D Mark III and a Mark IV. And I've said it a billion times, I love my Mark III way more than I love my Mark IV. I'm at the point where I would just be happy to freaking sell my Mark IV and get like a Mark III. Oh, Canon. Hashtag not blessed. Dude, look at this shot. She's killing it. I'm cutting off her toes on all these pictures. So I'm just getting nitpicky here. This is the end of our shoot, so we're just kind of playing here. I'm letting her play with her hair, doing a little walk-in, a little modeling. Riley just started driving, everybody, so you can kind of guess her age. No town. Thanks, dude. Switch to them Sony mirrorless. Pat, all right, here's the thing with mirrorless. If mirrorless were able to get bigger and I feel chunkier, my camera feels chunkier, I'm happy. I'm happy to get that. Right now, they're just so small and baby-like, and I was playing with Joey's, my buddy Joey, at the studio the other day, and I just couldn't. I mean, it felt so different. Sony's killing the game with technology. I hope that Canon freaking just man up. Man up, Canon. Do some cool stuff for us. Stop thinking about your money from selling one camera that does this one thing to another camera that does just this one thing that's different. Give me an amazing camera. I've been a buyer for life, dude. Give me a custom option. Give me, like, you know, I'll tell you what I need in my camera, and you can do that for me. Guys, if you're on Facebook, go to YouTube. You can actually see what we're editing and playing with. And thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. We're building the YouTube channel now. So everybody that's on YouTube, give me a subscribe. Let's add that. My goal is 10,000 likes. That's my next hurdle. And I think I can do it this year. Maybe this month. I don't know. I want to go viral. What do I do to go viral? So guys, the conversation we're having on YouTube right now is what do you do if you hate your wedding photos? This particular to other clients. We're not going to do the photographer side today. We'll do that a different day. But if you hate your photos, what are your options? And we've been chatting about it. So I want to know, hey, Tina, if you're still on there, what did your sister do? I'm sorry, you said it was your sister, right? Let me zoom up here. Yeah, my sister had a photographer who did not. What happened with that? What did the photographer say? What did they say? I want to know. I want to know. I mean, it's a wedding day, right? So a photographer needs to be prepared. They need to go on. They need to be ready to do an amazing day. But what if, heaven forbid, what if the photographer messes up or doesn't produce? So guys, I'll tell you, as a photographer, when I don't produce amazing photos, I kind of know. When I'm doing a shoot and I'm just not getting what I want, like I get this feeling and I freak out and I need to make sure that I get these photos. And by the time it ends, I always get that. So for a photographer to deliver images thinking that they're amazing and they're really not is kind of uncalled for because they know. So their hope is that if they don't say anything, you won't say anything. Weddings are an emotional day. They're once in a lifetime. Been thinking about it forever, right? So we want to make sure that we can produce some good stuff. So if you can find some good images within the batch of images, then that's great. But if they're all sucky and horrible and bad, then we have to go back and figure out why that happened. Was it the client's fault? Was it the photographer's fault? Did something happen during the day where the photographer's like, hey, my battery's dead, or something happened, or I don't have this light, or are they inexperienced? Did you not pay enough for a good photographer? I will tell you, in the Reno area now, I would say the median is going to be anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000. Oh, I got a new subscriber. Boom, 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 lights, camera. I need to build like an emoji or something. I need to do a thing. Pat says, I would say the A9 is pretty beefy compared to... I play with the A9. It is beefy. I love my Canon, but after various soneless mirrors, I want to switch so badly. If you're going to switch, Pat, do it now while you're building, dude. All my stuff is Canon. All my stuff. And yes, I can switch. Yes, it'll take some time. I don't want to at this point, man. I don't want to go through and freaking switch everything while I have it. It's just too much work. Too much work. You know what I forgot to do today? I forgot to go see Steve. It's Monday. Steve's in town to clean my camera. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Tina said she mentioned to them and how upset she was. They refunded her a smaller amount. that's kind of what I offered, right? That's what I said. But like you said, that day was over, and now she has no photos with my parents or family, so it's just upsetting. Tina, I completely get it. Somebody's calling me. I have to deny this call. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Whoever was calling me, I'm sorry. I'm live streaming. I'm sorry. So, Tina, yeah, that's ultimately the thing, right? We can offer refunds all day, but that's not going to do anything. I mean, you're still out. I'm not keeping this one. But that's out. That's out. And that's actually the frustrating part, because a lot of times clients, so these are not my clients, these are just people. Just because I put myself out in the community, I get these messages. Sometimes, you know, the clients are go, yeah, well, what can I do? And I'm like, well, what do you want? What is it that you want? I mean, you still want your wedding photos, right? And like, yeah. And they're like, you know, they really just want to be justified that they're not crazy, that that they want somebody else, a professional, look at their photos and go, yeah, they are bad. They are bad, you know. And most of the times my clients are right. Like when they, or not my clients, these people are right. And sometimes these are friends or family or whatever, where they'll contact me and then they'll, Jeramie, look at these photos. You got to tell me if these are horrible or if I should not say anything or whatever. So it's tough, man. It's tough, guys. It's just one of those things. So this wedding was at Zephyr Cove. You guys are watching me edit now. Zephyr was busy. We had a, so I set up the timeline. At this point around here, I actually sat for an hour. So I didn't shoot anything for a full hour. Megan, I'll call you back. I'm so sorry. Because the guy's arrival time for Meet Me was 11:45, and they didn't know. They thought it was 12:45. Just for miscommunication within their group. So this is now around like, so you know, we got like 15 minutes rather than an hour to do everything that we needed to do. But look at all these guys. So this is me first meeting them, which is kind of fun to look at as I'm meeting them and chatting with them, because by the end of the night, you know, they're all smashed and drunk and going like, hey dude, you got to come to the party with us. We're going to Hard Rock. We want to hang out. We want to chill. Me being half Asian, it's kind of really, really cool to shoot an Asian group because all these guys remind me of all my cousins growing up. So I immediately fell into place with them, which was really, really nice. And they're still sober at this point, which is always nice. Zephyr is really busy in the summer, but I gotta tell you, all right, so I have, there's a coordinator there. Her name's Sam, and she is freaking amazing. She's young, and for her experience and what she does, her age doesn't match, which is a good compliment to her because she does really, really well. But she killed this wedding. She definitely helped make sure everything worked out, everything we needed. She helped out a ton. She did really good. So Sam, high five. High five to you all day, every day. Guys, if you're on Facebook, head over to, I'm going to say it last time, head over to YouTube, join the conversation. We have about 20 more minutes in this conversation. Yeah, Pat, it's our people, man. All the Asians. The Asians are taking over. The Asians are taking over. Just some cool dude shots here, shooting on a low aperture. My wallet? What is this? So, guys, I mean, I always feel bad, but education's the key. So, the other thing that I always tell these brides, look at these guys. The other thing that I tell these brides is, you know, first off, we have the 3 steps, right? So the first step is wait, chill, wait for all the photos to come in, make sure everything's amazing, make sure you love them all. The second step is review the photos with somebody else. Make sure that you're not the crazy person, or make sure you're not judging the way the photographer shot you because of the way you look, which sounds a little shallow, but like we're our own worst critics. We need to make sure that it's not us looking at us and going, I don't like the way I look, so I'm going to blame the photographer. You know, it might just be you look weird, and then that just portrays in photos. Usually that's actually not the case. Usually a person knows when the photos look weird because they've been thinking about it. They've been seeing everything on Pinterest. They've been seeing everything online. So they automatically already know, dude, these don't look like, you know, Sally's pictures that got shot last weekend. So you have those first 2 steps. The third step is actually contacting the photographer, detailed statement of the day, and why and what you think. Here's the thing that happens with AZN Pride, buddy. Hashtag Asian Pride. I haven't heard AZN in forever. That used to be like the thing. Here's the thing with people that don't like their photos. They will recount every single thing the photographer did that day. I almost feel like if a person's not going to like their photos, they're not going to like it because of something they experienced before the wedding, and they're just waiting for that wedding photo to show up. God, I'm itching everywhere. They're just waiting for the wedding photos to come on and be like, told you, those sucked. Like, yeah, I'm not crazy. They're not good. So basically what'll happen, and photographers, this is for you, every second that you're shooting a wedding, I don't care how tired you are, I don't care how long you're working, I don't care how hungry, how thirsty you are, you need to make sure that you're always doing something positive and showing the client that you're hustling your ass to get stuff done. Because what's going to happen is, oh, and also don't drink at weddings. Please don't drink. Please do not drink at weddings. I don't care if you're a professional drinker. I don't care if you know, are a professional drinker. I don't care if you drink all the time and you're like, hey, it's after my shift. I'm cool. I'm going to have a drink. My Easy E voice. But say you have a drink at the end of the night, and all of a sudden, half the photos go missing. Your memory card crashes. Something happens. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Look, Zephyr Cove. It's still smoky. As of last weekend. Look at these dance moves. But say you guys have that drink, and you shoot everything perfectly. This is the best case scenario for you. You shoot everything perfectly. You get home. You upload. Memory card failure. You do everything you can. You got your software. You got your stuff to try to pull memory cards. Something doesn't happen. You tell your bride, hey, I'm so sorry, but like I lost half of the dancing photos. Let's go crazy. Nothing like ceremony or anything, but you lost half of the wedding photos. Or just say dancing. I lost 100 dancing photos. I'm so sorry. They might not even notice until you told them. The first thing that they're going to think of is, weren't you drinking at the end of the night? Maybe alcohol had something to do with in play when it could possibly have nothing. And my point of this, guys, is that everything that you do at a wedding is being watched by not only the bride and groom, but everybody else there, where your potential clients come from in the future. So you have to make sure that you are not lax at any part of the day. This is your business. Now, I'm a full-time photographer, which means I get my money. I make all my money based off of photography, my reputation, my brand, and everything. I can't go messing around with one client, joking with one client. I can't be going out with the groomsmen at the end of a wedding, getting smashed, having a good time, and then something happens, and then I get a weird Yelp review where, can you imagine that Yelp review? Please, nobody do that Yelp review for me. I will dispute the crap out of it. But if they were like, yeah, Jeramie went out and hung out with us that night, we partied, and it was cool. He drank too much, he threw up all over himself, and then had to Uber home. That's not a conversation we have. So going back to that point is, you don't want to give your client a reason. All right, I want you guys to watch this reaction, okay? Watch this. Watch this right here. I missed the actual hit. So my groom here, I'm pointing to this like you guys can see me. Where's my mouse? All right. So the groom here is like, oh, I told him to do something weird. This guy goes, boom, right there. Actually hits him. Reaction. I'm not keeping all of them. And then, but look how happy he is. So I will tell you, and then the groom's like, hold up, break. I will tell you that this groomsman right here spent the rest of the night in fear because he basically knew the groom had one free nut shot coming for the rest of the day. So every time we would walk by him, he would just be like holding his groin. Timeout. There's a timeout. We had to walk it out. But super cool. I've never had friends, guys. I don't have friends, to be honest. Like, I have very little friends, if any. I have no friends. So I don't have dudes that would just like nut shot me and like I would nut shot back. Like, I never grew up in that group of dudes. That's kind of it. Yeah, it had to be 4 or 5, Pat. That's a long time ago. All right, guys, we have a good 15 minutes left on the live stream. If you're on Facebook, we're actually doing everything via YouTube. This right here is a ploy to get you guys to go over there so we can actually talk. We have a cool dialogue happening about what do you do if you hate your wedding photos. And this is for the clients. Like, what can they do? It's a tough situation. It happens more than we think. And but this is going to be, I'm targeting the clients right now. This is going to be for the client that did their homework, thought they were hiring somebody amazing who they've seen their portfolio has done amazing work, and they don't understand why their wedding isn't that great. And we have to find out why. This conversation is not for the people that have put photography at the last part of their to-do list and hired a student or hired somebody that doesn't have a portfolio or somebody that gave them the hookup. You know, it's your wedding. If you are trying to get some free deals, there's a lot of these blogs going out now where like, you know, how to get free stuff for your wedding. You know, making sure that you do some trade or bartering with the photographer and they can get rights to use your photos. We get to use your photos whether you sign out or not. It's just depending on how much money we make from it or if any. But as far as using it, we can use it. It's just, you know, the education and the talking on Facebook. I think a lot of people forget to actually like look up the laws rather than like talk to their friend Sally who has had a wedding once in her life. That's his smile. Aww, cute. Man cute, not you're cute. Look at this little chubby monkey, Suzanne. There's our beautiful bride just getting ready at Zephyr in the Zephyr small room. Is what I call it, but it's a bridal changing room. Yeah, this is pretty. All right. Random question. Any thoughts on what to wear at weddings? I have lots of thoughts, Joseph. I have lots of thoughts. I do not dress like a wedding photographer. And what that means is I don't wear black button-up, a guy photographer, black button-up, black jacket, black slacks, black shoes, black socks, black underwear, black sunglasses, black hat. You don't wear a hat. I do not dress as a photographer. I dress as a guest of the wedding, but a little bit under. So I am all about style. I've always been about style ever since I was a kid, and I've never liked the idea of a uniform. Working for other companies, working, you know, as a food server, I've always hated the thing. I've never wanted, and I never think any vendor should look like a vendor. So what I mean is if you're there, you're just going to walk around, hang out, have fun, grab some shots, but look cool doing it. Some great places to shop for guy clothes are going to be like H&M, J. Crew, Banana Republic, Gap. Stores like that where you can wear some slacks, some really, really nice jeans, nothing holy, nothing religious, but stuff that you can move in. And I got in the water at this last wedding, so something that you can get wet that doesn't change too much. Some nice, comfortable shoes. I wear a lot of sneakers, like Converse or Vans, but like new ones every time. Or I just have some really cool dress-up shoes that move around a little bit that have some good traction below. Because I'm moving throughout the day. I still want to look like a guest, but I also want to, you know, be able to. If I were to go out and party after, I'd still look like I can go to a cocktail party. So don't dress like a photographer if that helps. Just don't do it. So this bride kept giving me cool little like looks throughout the day. So you'll kind of see that in a little bit. But she had the best facial expressions ever. And you know, she's just very like, I mean, this is Tahoe. She's very chill, very cool. Awesome. Her name is Leslie. Her name is Leslie. Her name. So I told her to think about somebody naked. And this was. And then I was like, dude, you have a choice in who you're thinking about. All right. I just know wedding photographers shouldn't wear tuxedos when on the job. Don't wear a tuxedo. Don't look like a food server. Don't look like a food server. And also dress for the environment that you're in. If it's like a $500,000 wedding or something like that, and you're making like, you know, you were able to charge $10,000 for the wedding or whatever, yeah, maybe dress up a little bit more than what I just said. But if you're in Tahoe, if you're wearing a suit in Tahoe, you look like an idiot. Sorry, people that wear suits at Tahoe. You don't look like idiots. It's just me. Ooh, that'd be awkward. Gina joined. Gina has an amazing new studio in Reno. In the basement. I have not been able to go, Gina. I'm sorry I missed the grand opening. But I'm super excited. I keep seeing these little shots that are happening in the studio. Some stuff that Ben's posted behind the scenes and Colin and all that. So I'm super excited for you and super happy. I remember doing your family portraits a while ago. I remember opening our first studio and Gina made special like cookies with cameras on them and stuff. I think she even made a camera cake from what I remember, which is super awesome. And now she's a busy photographer. And that's what I love about Reno. I love that being able to transition and people doing amazing stuff. So guys, we have 10 more minutes on the YouTube here. So if you guys are on Facebook and you want to join in the conversation or see what I'm editing and doing, please head over to YouTube. YouTube.com. Give me a JeramieLu on there. When you guys get there, give me a subscribe. If you're on YouTube right now, please go ahead and read the description on stuff that I feel is important about me and my channel and how to get stuff done and the stuff that's happening. I don't like those ones. Texas and really hot. I usually wear all black. So Joseph, black is fine. The reason that photographers I feel wear black was to kind of blend in the background, but also like to hide all our sweaty sweats. Dude, try some different stuff. Get out there, have some fun. Let people go like, dude, you look good. And be like, I'm the photographer. And they're like, what? I was at a wedding and this one guy made a comment and said, although I was not wearing what photographers wear, and he goes, he's like, you're the photographer, huh? And I'm like, yeah, how'd you know? Because I had a camera on my hip, and that was my joke. I'm like, how'd you know, bro? And he goes, I feel like all you photographers shop at the same store. And I'm looking down at my clothes, and I'm like, no photographer wears what I wear. And that's what I want to change. I want photographers to be cool. Let's be cool, guys. Let's be all cool together. Let's take time in what we wear. And I don't think I will ever have a polo shirt with my name on it. Pat said, oh, I thought we all wear black because we want to be ninjas. Yeah, I guess photographers want to be ninjas. Stealthy. Hiding. Although if I was in Tahoe, I'd wear full camo and just kind of sit there. I'm culling still, guys. So I've been culling for almost an hour now. Hand's starting to hurt a little. Let's take this watch off. I got to go pick up the girls in a little bit, so we have a good 8 minutes here. Hey, Sharon, on Facebook, go over to YouTube. Go to YouTube. We're having a convo and seeing what we're actually doing. This right here is just a ploy to get you guys to go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. I'm live stream every single day. We talk about something different. And we do live critiques once a week, so if you guys have something you want to critique or look over, I'm happy to do so. And we'll do it live. So, ton of sun. That's why we have my assistant here holding stuff over the top. But if I was you, girl, I would be your best friend, girl. So we're coming to the end on this. I know, I got to take my stuff to Steve. Photographers that are watching on Facebook or YouTube, first off, if you're on Facebook, go there. Steve is here from, I believe, North Dakota. He used to own Camera Clinic. I think he still has a business called Camera Clinic. I don't know. He's here. He's cleaning cameras. If you guys haven't gotten your camera cleaned, $50 for a body and a lens, and then price adjustment for more than that stuff, obviously. But he's here cleaning. You most likely have to drop it off. He's at Nevada Fine Arts off South Virginia in Reno. Go in there, say what's up, get your camera cleaned. And I have to get mine. I actually had it in my notes to do it this morning, but I had to take the girls to school, and I totally forgot about it. And throughout the whole day, I forgot about it as well. So I actually won't be able to make it there today until later. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, look at that model walk. Get it, girl. Ooh, I gotta get rid of that. Pretty stuff, guys. Alright, guys, we have 5 more minutes here on the live stream, so I'm gonna get off of live stream and get ready to pick up my girls in a little bit. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and tuning in today. Another successful day live streaming. I have some more videos that are going to be uploaded on the channel as well, so please stay close to the channel. Watch them all. Give me a thumbs up on stuff. Let's build this channel together, guys. Let's build it. Let's call myself a YouTuber as I'm doing this. I will be recording some edits, some like 4 or 5 minute edits as I do this. And Sharon made it to YouTube. Yes, you're the best. You're a get off. LOL. Yeah, Jimmy, I got it. I got it, Jimmy. I'm gonna do some recorded edits. So as I go through, and actually, because basically last week you guys have seen me cull stuff. Just the time of day I cull, and then I edit later on in the evening. So I want to actually show you guys maybe 1 or 2 photos that I actually edit from beginning to end using only Lightroom, just to kind of keep it simple, and just some quick little 3-minute videos for you guys to kind of watch and follow through and not have to look at my face all day. But I like those. Those are fun. When I first started photography, I would watch tutorials of just people working all the time. My girls literally just watch people play with Play-Doh all day on YouTube. So I think that that'll be kind of fun for people to watch on the fly and then get a little more inspiration on how I do things and why, and then comment via that way. Pat, no joke right now. That's actually been a conversation we've had with a lot of people in the area, because Steve's been gone for quite a bit of time. And if there's anybody else that can freaking clean cameras well and not break my crap, oh my god, like there's so many photographers in town that would pay for that. I mean, he came and he has like 80 something people on a wait list for this week alone. So you do the math on that. 50 times 80 is like $1 billion. It's a lot of money. Jimmy, I always need a DJ, man. It's good to see you, dude. You're at the end of it though, so I'm here for another 3 minutes and I got a jam. But thanks for tuning in, man. I'm trying to build the YouTube channel, so feel free to go to YouTube and give me a subscribe. If I get to 10,000 likes, YouTube gives me something cool. Wait, 1,000 likes? I have like 5 something. 10,000 will be like one day. I don't know if I could. That'd make me feel weird. Knowing that I only talked to like 500 people, I'm cool. 1,000 people, I'm like, I don't know what I'm wearing today. Look at these girls in their element and just being all cute and stuff. So, just a recap, guys. Although it's in the description, I kind of still like to talk about it. Thanks, man. I'm using a palette system here. So it says palettegear.com. And I get to set the buttons to do whatever I want within Lightroom, within my computer, within 8 different software. And I use this to cull instead of using my key or my mouse or whatever, so it's just one-handed. But I can also use my right hand to do stuff as well. But this is just really cool. This makes everything a lot faster, especially going from image to image. Just go next image, boom, 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 do stuff here. So you guys kind of see what's going on with my hands. Thanks, Joseph. I appreciate it, man. Hope you have a good day, too. You guys are all awesome. They're getting ready for their first look here, guys. So I don't know where I'm going to be with these edits tomorrow, but I'll see you guys tomorrow, I'm hoping. I have a really cool shoot for Kind tomorrow, which is a weed place, a marijuana place. I do marijuana stuff. And we're going to be shooting something for a magazine that's different than what we've done before. So I'm super excited. I have a whole bag full of stuff to bring there, and then we're going to create a cool set out of it for one shot. So it's going to take like 2 hours to do that one shot. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to let you guys go. You should do all of them. Man, there's so many business ideas I can do. Thank you guys, Facebookers. Go to YouTube. You guys can watch the beginning of this if you want. Please give me a subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Thanks, guys. And YouTubers, you guys are awesome. Enjoy your day. I will be back one day in the future. One day in the future.